Breathe in through your nose. Fill up your lungs. And fill up your belly. And breathe out through your nose. If you're at home, you can breathe out through your nose. If you're with us in the studio, you breathe out through your nose. And just savor your inhale and savor your exhale. That's all you have at this present moment is the breath. Let's take 3 long breaths in and out all together. So inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And one more time, breathe in. And let it go. Okay, guys. Savor that feeling, the feeling that you have when all you need to do is breathe in and breathe out. The feeling of simplicity and purity, of no demands whatsoever. We're just going to let be. In the words of the Beatles, let it be. Take your knees up top, so bend the knees and bring them above you, and put one hand over each knee, and let's just stir our knees, drawing your thighs towards your chest and away from your chest, opening, closing your legs. Maybe the hands direct the legs, or maybe the legs direct the hands, but they're moving in tandem. And your movements are akin to breathing. They're as natural and organic as your breath. Let's take our right knee, interlace your fingers, and bring your right thigh over your chest, wind-removing pose. Lying back, relaxing your head and shoulders. Straightening that left leg, but still keeping it nice and soft. Flex your left foot. Let's just raise the left straight leg up and down a few times at your own pace. As slow or fast as you wish. And the next time the left heel is on the floor, let's tap that heel out to the left. So 1 inch out to the left, another inch out to the left, and another inch out to the left. And we'll tap the heel back inward, inch, inch, inch. So just some lateral motion of that straight left leg as you draw that right thigh into your chest. Good. And then please raise your left leg one more time. And please lower it one more time. Squeeze your right thigh in closer to you. And let's switch out sides, so straightening the right leg. Interlacing your fingers, squeeze your left shin. Wind removing on the left side. Good. Remember that breathing? How you're paying attention to it? Breathe in nice and deeply. Draw that left thigh towards you. When you feel ready, you start to raise your right foot up and down. And then just taking some lateral movements, tapping your left heel out, your right heel out to the right. Tap, tap, tap. And inward. Tap, tap, tap. Good. Couple more times out to the right. And inward. And out to the right. And inward. And then raising your right leg up one more time. And lowering it down. Give that left shin a good squeeze again. And then release your left leg down to the ground. Stretch your arms up high above you, so stick pose, stretch out nice and long. And take a nice slow Pilates roll up, pressing your lower back downward. Belly draws in, and then vertebra by vertebra, you lift up strong and slow. Reach for your toes. Just give your hamstrings a little stretch. Good. Good. I'm going to start with some hip flexor work right away. So with those legs in front of you, you can stay facing the back. Well, okay, you ready to spin around? Spin around. Go ahead. Let's face the front. Cool. Yeah. We're going to land here anyway, so let's do it now. Legs straight in front of you. Flex your feet. Hands can come behind you. Keeping the legs straight, just going to work those hip flexors a little bit. Just raise one leg up and down, and the other leg up and down. Now what I tend to do here, which is incorrect, I tend to lean back and use my upper body as leverage here, and you want to avoid that. So try to sit, good Mona, at a 90-degree angle, not lean back in order to raise the legs, and really work those hip flexors. You feel the difference? Yeah. So we don't do a lot of these because the last thing we ever want to do is tax those hip flexors. So we just do maybe 7. Just introduce the cells and the muscles to this type of movement and strength training. Good. Take that forward fold. So many options here. If you're more interested in stretching hamstrings, then you keep your legs straight and reach for the feet. If you're more interested in stretching your spine, you can bend your knees and reach. Some of you don't have to bend your knees at all. You're flexible enough that you can reach without bending the knees. I'm not one of those people. All right. Before we get too deeply into seated positions here, I'd like to just start our practice with the sacred sound of Om. So sit upright, hands to heart center. Cleansing breath in and out. Next breath in is followed by Om. So inhale. Enjoy your practices. Thanks for joining us on Saturday morning. You'll inhale and sweep your arms up nice and high and reach. Dropping right hand over to the right, lift up, and just take a nice side stretch. Let's change our sides. Left arm drops, right arm reaches up first, so find the length first, and then stretch over. How about alternating sides at your own pace? One side and the other. Maybe you like to move quick. Or maybe you feel like moving more slowly this morning. Maybe you're a dancer type and you express that through your side-to-side motions and the waving of your arms to one side and the other. Maybe you add a little forward folding in between those side stretches. Are you still paying attention to your breath? That's going to be my number one recommendation and question. Yes, start to expand your range of motion, taking any movements in that seated position that feel organic for you. Warming up the body slowly and gently. Good. And then returning back to center to meet each other. We'll bend our right knee and interlace your fingers and squeeze your right shin. Sit upright, so you really want to launch the vertical stretching of the spine here. So use your right thigh sort of as a brace, if you will, to lift up out of that lower back. Relax the shoulders down. Find the length that lives in the whole spine, but the neck too. Good. Good. We're not terribly warmed up for a twist, but I do want to introduce the muscles and cells to just a little twist here. So left hand holds that right knee and just kind of sitting up, look over that right shoulder. Awesome. And let us switch sides. So release that right leg straight. Bend your left knee, interlace your fingers. Sit up tall out of that lower back. You can rotate the right leg in its hip socket, just flexing that right foot and kind of bringing it from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Yeah. Good. And let's take a twist. So once you're really seated upright, look over your left shoulder. Okay, guys, back to your center. Releasing that leg out in front of you. Shake out your legs. And then we're going to open the legs. Okay. And take that nice forward fold. Holding on to what's available to you. Okay. And the same way that we did with our legs in front of us, we're going to try those leg raises with the legs apart. So hands behind you for extra support. Try not to lean back to do this. See if you can't raise that right thigh up an inch and down, and left leg up an inch and down. Strengthening those hip flexors. Very hard to do this. Listen to your body. Who could believe that such a tiny movement is really very challenging? Okay, I think that's enough. And then you're going to reach over and just stretch. So Dima describes this as reaching to the back of your car and stretching to reach for something. It's a gorgeous stretch. Good. Let's take it to the other side. And if you'd like to add a little bit more to this, up to you guys. But if you want to kind of push into those heels and into the right hand, you can add a lift. Good. Coming down and switching sides. This is a starfish pose. Okay, maybe one more time on each side. Okay. All right. How you guys feel so far? Pretty good? Pretty warmed up? Okay, well, let's get the wrists going then. Let's see. This is hairdresser pose. Nisa calls it the hairdresser or the policeman. Okay, so wrists going, hands are lined up with the forearms, and it's just the wrists. Chop, 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 chop. Good. And then there's just taking your fingers and drawing them back. Yeah. And make sure you do it on both hands. And taking those magnetic wrists, bringing the wrists together if possible, but you can swirl them in all directions here. What you don't want to do is separate them. Yeah, isn't that neat? All right. Some good caretaking here. And shake them out. Alrighty. Here we go. Bring the heels together in front of you. Butterfly the legs. And you can just kind of bounce them down gently. Gently. Chest pushes forward. How about looking over right shoulder? Good. Let's look over left shoulder. Awesome. Back to your center. Let's bring the knees behind us and the hands in front of us. How do you feel? It's tabletop time. So ideally, good, Justin, your hips are above your knees and your shoulders are above your wrists. Knees or hips with distance apart. You can arch your spine, inhaling to cow. And round and tuck into angry cat. And just go back and forth from cow to cat here. And then expanding your range of motion. So let's separate the knees, separate the hands, and just circle around a little bit. You may be feeling this in those hip flexors. So you may want to take just an adjunct upward dog and push back to a child's position. Point your fingers inward now, as best as you can. It's an unnatural position. Lean back a little or lean forward. Feel the stretch in the forearms here. Good. We do not have to strain anything, so we just spend a short period of time in there, and then hands go back to normal. Let's come up on our knees. Shake out those hands. Good. We're going to start with some strength training here, okay, guys? So when you feel ready, hands come back down. Okay, position to tabletop proper. We'll tuck our toes under, okay, and lift the knees an inch off the floor. This is called bear pose. Good. Stepping right foot back. The folks in the studio know this one. Stepping left foot back. This is your high plank. We walk back, right foot and left foot, back into bear pose with those raised knees. Good, Stephanie. Knees drop down, tops of feet flat on the floor. Inhale, arch the spine for cow. Exhale, round and tuck, angry cat. Inhale, flat back, tabletop proper. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees. Bear pose, hold it. So the core is drawing inward. Let's walk it back. Left foot first this time, and then right foot. High plank, hold it. Breathe in, and breathe it out. Awesome. Left foot steps, right foot steps, returning to bear pose. And then bringing your knees down, tops of feet flat on the floor. Inhale, we arch. And exhale, we round and tuck. Inhale, tabletop proper. Let's take 5 more of these, okay? So tuck the toes, bear pose. Right foot steps, left foot steps, high plank. Right foot returns, left foot returns, bear pose. Knees come down, tops of feet flat on the floor. Inhale, we arch. And exhale, we round. Tabletop proper. 4 more to go, guys. You're doing great. Tuck the toes, lift the knees. Right foot steps, left foot steps, high plank. Right foot returns, left foot returns, bear. Knees come down, tops of the feet plant. Inhale, we arch. Exhale, we round. Tabletop proper is your inhale. You guys are doing great. 3 more to go. Tuck those toes, lift your knees. Left foot steps, right foot steps, high plank, hold it. Left foot returns, right foot returns. Good. Knees come down, tops of feet flat on the floor. Inhale, we arch. Exhale, we round. Tabletop proper. What is it, 3 more or 2 more? Anyone counting? All right, let's do 2 then. Tuck those toes, knees lift. Here we go. Right foot steps, left foot steps, high plank. Hold it. Right foot comes back, left foot comes back. Bear pose. Knees come down, Tops of feet press. Inhale, we arch. Exhale, we round. This is our final, guys. Tabletop proper. Tuck those toes, bear pose. Whichever foot you want steps back, the other follows it. Hold your plank. Let's hold this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step it in, step it in. Knees come down, tops of feet flat on the floor. Inhale, arching, and exhale, rounding. Finding that tabletop proper for me again. You guys rock. Let's bring the right foot in between our hands. So we're going to enter what's called marriage proposal. You're going to place your right foot in between your hands, but that left knee stays back. Yeah. And then when you raise your chest, you'll find that you're in that marriage proposal, will you marry me kind of position. Well, let's see if I can get this to look a little bit better. Da, da, da. Okay. Beautiful. And we're going to work all of this material right here. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Arms up nice and high, and then bring your hands to prayer. Okay. This is called halo. Now, if you have a block at home, you're going to hold that block at your heart. And if you don't have a block, you're going to do your magnetic wrists. It's actually harder with magnetic wrists. And you raise the wrists or the block above you. And you circle twice around the head in one direction. So 1 and 2. Good. And then hands come back down. And then they rise up again. Opposite direction this time, the halo. All the way to the back of the head, so really a nice big circle. And back down. Okay, try that again. One direction, 2 circles. I want you to feel this in the triceps, biceps, shoulders, deltoids, pecs. Bring it down and back up in the other direction. Yeah, so the people with the blocks, they get it, because we get to really make that halo big. People doing magnetic wrists, very, very challenging. Very challenging. But y'all did it, and you did great. Pick those prayer hands up nice and high above you, so we really want to stretch all of this now. Dev is Brahman Namaskar, so lift up out of that lower back. Bring your chin to your chest. Let's start to round forward. So here we go. We bow down to the gods and goddesses of yoga. Chin is to chest, head is to knee. And fingertips are on the floor in prayer. Okay, good guys. Pull that belly in so you push up from the deep core muscles. Do not pull from the back as you rise up. 3 low twists to the right. Here we go. First inhale and lift. Exhale to twist to the right. 1. Good. Back to center. 2. Beautiful. Back to center. Find that breath. 3. Now stay here, and you can reach that right hand to meet your left heel maybe. Or maybe the back of your left thigh. Find that beautiful side stretch. Okay. Coming back to your high twist to the right. And then your marriage proposal proper. Hands can be above you if you're a dramatic type of proposer, or in your heart center. We're going to tuck the left toe under, please. Rise up to Crescent Lunge position. So here's your Crescent Lunge. Depending on where you planted those hands, Maybe they're in your heart or maybe they're above you. Ultimately, let's all meet with hands in prayer above our head. Take that breath and keep the knees bent, but I want you to stretch up out of that torso. This is the wood chopper pose, okay? So as you exhale, you're going to slide your prayer hands down on the left side of you like you're chopping wood. Or maybe it's a golf swing. I've heard people tell me that. And then inhale back up. So yoga truly is not about strength and flexibility. It is about body control. So this is all about controlling your motions. Control that breath. We're taking 5 swings. I've got 2 more left. These swings are to the left. We meet each other in Crescent Lunge proper. Awesome. We take 3 high twists to the right. So keep the knees bent, lift up out of that lower back. Here we go. High twist it to the right, students. 1. Beautiful. Back to crescent. 2. Wow. 3. Here's that back bend. You're going to reach that right hand for the back of your left thigh. Left arm lifts up. Inhale that beautiful long stretch. Warrior 2 happens when you bring the left heel down, cartwheel the arms, and find your second warrior position. Relax those shoulders. Good work. Let's take our wrist turns, so little fists. Rotating the full arm is also lovely. Fantastic. When the palms are facing the ceiling, take it back, reverse. Take another breath here. We're going to cartwheel the arms down and find tabletop, okay? So here you go. Cartwheel. Back heel can come up as the right foot steps back and the knees come right back down for tabletop. You might like to inhale and arch the spine. Exhale, rounding, tucking. Good. And then placing the left foot between your hands, finding marriage proposal on your left side. If this is hard on the knees, just put a towel under your knees or roll up your mat a little bit. Arms lift up nice and strong, finding that beautiful length. And then you bring them to heart center, either holding that block or taking prayer, magnetizing the wrists, and you're going to keep those wrists together as you employ halo pose. So up above the head, circle, and circle. You want to use all of those muscles, bringing hands back down, lifting up, and circling in the opposite direction. Yes, exactly. Where it's really the fronts and backs of the arms that are working. We're trying not to move the torso with this. So this is all about these muscles. Take your halo. You go your own pace. You know it's 2 rotations in one direction each time. Really nice, guys. Okay, if you have that block, place it down. We're going to take three low twists to the left. So find the length first, and then open up to the left once, back to center. Second, open up to the left, and back to center. One more time. This is your back bend too, so the left hand is going to reach either for the right heel or the back of the right thigh. Right arm reaches up, find that heart opener. Breathe. Nice hold, everybody. Take it back up to marriage proposal. Tuck your right toe under, finding crescent lunge position. You ready for wood chopper? First, establish your strong crescent lunge that lives on the inside of your thighs. So those hip bones are pointing forward. Okay. When the legs are strong, the hands come together and they're ready for 5 wood choppers. Find length first, inhaling. And chop. Slide over to the right. 1. You go your pace. And as a counter posture, it's the high twists to the left. So land in crescent lunge proper, and then take your first high twist to the left. 1. I love the breathing I'm hearing here today. Can you take that pull back so that left hand is going to reach for the back of right thigh and that right arm reaches up? Open up to warrior 2. Let the back heel drop. Relax those shoulders. Pull those arms apart nice and long. Breathe in and breathe it out. Make your little fists. You can rotate those arms. Flip your palms. Reverse that warrior. And if you recall, the dismount from here is to cartwheel the arms, pick up the right heel, and bring the left knee back for tabletop position. Good. We're going to inhale and arch. We're going to exhale, round and tuck. Inhale and arch. And round and tuck. Okay, tabletop proper. Neutralize the spine. Tuck your toes under. Let's pick up, I believe it's our first downward dog of the morning. How do you like that? Press one heel at a time into the ground. Find a downward dog march. And what I'd like to try to do, if you're up for it, students, you see how great the shoulders and the rhomboids feel, and the wrists and the arms after all of that work that we just did? You're going to have a very strong down dog. So I think we can accomplish this. Let's give this a whirl. Here's what I'd like to try. Down dog to plank, right knee to right elbow, left knee to left elbow, plank proper, and down dog. Okay, so hips up in the air, down dog. Knees bend, roll forward to plank. Establish your plank, then right knee to right elbow, left knee to left elbow. Plank to down dog. Now this can be done in tabletop too. You can take down dog, tabletop, right knee, right elbow, left knee, left elbow, tuck the toes, bear pose, down dog. Okay? So yogi's choice. Let's try 10 of these. Here we go. Have fun. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Last one. Oh, aren't you awesome? Bring those knees down. Take a drink. You can have your toes tucked if you want here, or just sit comfortably, or take a child's pose. So for me, it's all this material that worked so hard. And you can take your arms and open and close them. I like to swing the arm and then catch it in the opposite hand. So I do this. Little Michael Phelps arms. You can take some backstroke here or crawl. Okay, did you take your drinks? We're going to work the lower body now a little bit more. Is that cool? Yeah? Awesome. Let's put our hands on the ground, tabletop proper. Tuck your toes, down dog. Bend the knees, look forward. Walk, step, or hop your way so that your feet are meeting your hands. Give yourself a rag doll here. So just let your body hang. This is 5 minutes and 20 seconds of some good aerobic working. Feel free to opt out, please. Let's all turn sideways. How about that? So rise up, vertebra by vertebra, you lift. Circle sweep those arms. And then turn and face that side mirror for me. Open up to 5-pointed stars. So go and spread those legs. Spread those arms. Starting with your 5-pointed star here. Good. Lift up out of that lower back. So belly draws in and just find your full length here. Good. We're going to toe heel the feet slightly inward. Heels come in some. Goddess pose. So bend those knees. Now you might want to walk the heels in a little more, guys. Yeah. You locate the best goddess for you. Wow. Oh, I told you we were going to work our legs, didn't I? Well, start to bounce then. Find that bounce. I'd like to throw in some kickboxing punches, though. Just to work out the arms and the upper body. You can bring those arms up, down. You can bring them forward, back. Side, side. I want to get right to the legs. Is that cool? Toe heel those feet a little closer together. Almost a chair position here for me, okay? Almost. We're going to start with right leg tapping out to the right. You can add the arms. That left thigh. That's it, Nicole. Left quad is going to burn. When that starts to happen, we move it over to the left. Here we go. And if you can, alternate legs. And maybe the arms go with that alternating. Breathe. You add any motions that feel right for you. Yes. Yeah. Let yourself get lost, please. Here's your free time. You move any way you feel like moving. When we do this on Monday night, I usually dim the lights so people can really lose themselves. Get those demons out. Dance for joy. It's all about the joy, isn't it? You release the demons and the joy replaces all that space. Almost there. That's nice, Deva. Thank you for reminding me of the dead bug pose. You guys did great. Yeah, I forgot about that. Here we go. Open it up. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up nice and high, rise. And spread your legs open. So here's your 5-pointed star. Breathe in, lift up out of that low back. And as you breathe out, chin leads, forward fold. Take it down. If you've got blocks, I like to use these, and I walk forward. Now, you guys might be able to do that on your hands. What I'd like to see here is almost a downward-facing dog with widespread legs, though. So you want to get the down dog feeling, but with spread legs. That's it. And breathe. Let your head hang. So you feel a nice length in the spine. I'm going to go sideways here. And taking some lateral lunging here if you want. You walk those hands toward your right foot. come in a little. You're not leaning as far away from your legs as earlier. And just take a lateral lunge. Very rare in yoga that we lunge laterally. And you can walk across if you want. And maybe, just maybe, the legs feel strong enough that they push you up on their own. You rise to center and then find that lunge on the other side. And you just take some side to sides here. That's it, Stephanie. Good. All right. Take it back to center. Isn't that beautiful? And then bring your heels in some. And now let's take a pure goddess. So bending the knees and tailbone points down. All right, pubic bone points up. So flattening that lower back. Bend the knees a little more. Come down. You can make the world your charm or your chain. And it's just such poetry. Bend the knees, sit a little deeper. I like that idea, Nicole. Let's take our lotus flower goddesses. So pinky fingers and thumbs together and forearms together. Bring it down. And we're all going to blossom because it's spring. So raise it up, push the elbows up, squeeze the glutes here, guys, as you rise. Beautiful. And then spread the seeds. Twinkling those fingers. And then finding that nice low place in the dirt. And then the flower blooms. And we open wide. Take a few of these. How beautiful. Let's land in goddess with our hands on our thighs. And just take a shoulder stretch here. Your right shoulder heads toward your left inner thigh. And then circles maybe inside in the left shoulder. And just taking some beautiful left to rights with your shoulders. Wow, this class went by super fast. Well, we should be down on the ground by now, but I'm going to keep you up here for just a little longer so we can be trees, okay? So push through those legs and raise your arms up nice and high. Good. And put the weight into your right leg, please. Float those arms down and pick the right heel up, finding that tree position. And you might like to try to find some movement in your tree. So maybe you climb the tree, right arm reaches up, makes a little fist and draws down, and left arm. And you climb your tree. Or maybe you're still. 2 more breaths. Inhale. One more breath. You dismount from your tree. Shake out your limbs. And we'll take that on the left side, last side. Okay, so weight into the right. Let that left-sided tree start to bloom. Nice, Justin. Good. Such strong trees this morning. How's your tree doing at home? Shout out to my buddy Paul Finizzi in Provincetown. Paul, thank you for everything. Hope you're watching this morning. Find that tree. Option here to climb. Climbing adds a whole different level of challenge to our balance. Not easy. Transcend. So this Wednesday, I'll be getting my second Fauci ouchie. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I hope everybody's feeling good and doing well. One more breath. Here we go. Tree release. Shake out your limbs. Oh, I kept you up for a long time, my students. We just got a couple of things we need to do on the floor, okay? So grab a drink and step to the top of your mat, and we are going to take it down pretty rapidly. Inhale, sweep up high, reach. And exhale, prayer hands to heart center. Just ground. Inhale, sweep. Separate your feet a little. Push your butt back a little. Okay, so we don't go straight down, but we are going to take this squat. So just push your buttocks back. Bend those knees. And find your squat position. Good. Heels can either be raised or on the floor. And you can try to press the thighs open using the backs of your arms. Perhaps you have the dexterity to be able to lower your butt down. I need my hands to help me as I find a seated position. I'd like you guys to take your peace sign fingers, hold on to those big toes. And you may think you can't do this. That's how I felt for years until a teacher said, just try it. It's not as hard as it looks. So I guarantee it isn't. One foot comes up and the other foot comes up. Yes. Not as hard as it looks, is it, guys? Now, once you're up there, we're all kind of curving our backs. Mona, that's great. So I know I curve my back to leverage this posture. I am working on pushing forward from the middle back. Lower middle back. Good, Danielle. That's beautiful. And trembling is fantastic, honey. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Okay. Now we're going to let go of the legs but not let them drop and keep them up. Now, as we enter boat, which is what we're doing, you can hold the backs of your thighs, or you can hold the ground behind you, or you can even put your toes on the floor for boat. These are all beautiful versions of boat. And up to you whether knees are bent or legs are straight. Okay? If you've got that beautiful block, that's going to be your paddle. And if you don't, you're going to bring your palms together in prayer. Okay, here we go, guys. Let's row this boat. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and 1. Bend those knees, heels on the ground, and sit up. Try not to sink into that low back, okay? Stretch that left leg. Find that twist that we took at the start of class, but this time allowing yourself to go a little deeper. Let's train sides. Now even the gaze looks behind you and the neck gets a nice twist. We're so much more limber and warmed up. We're going to ride that boat again. Are you guys ready? Come back to your center. Establish your boat however you like it best. And row. Now, if you want to put your feet on the floor and take Russian twists, this is just as beautiful a posture. Just find your Russian twists. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spin around for me. Shoot those legs back to the back of the room and lie nice and long. Go ahead, stretch your arms, stretch your legs. Breath in stretches you super long. So we really focused a lot today on rhomboids and obliques. You're really going to feel it along the sides of your body tomorrow. I'd like one more such posture, and that's called mountain climber. So bring your feet up in the air. Keep those legs straight. Same idea as your boat, where you're going to climb side to side instead of row side to side. So if you have that block, you hold it. And you climb one side to the other. Without the block, hands are in prayer. Just as good. And reach, and reach, and reach. Bring this home for me, as much or little as you wish to do. Laying out long whenever that calls your name. Returning to that wind-removing pose, you'll take your right shin, interlace your fingers, and squeeze. Bringing your thigh just to the right of your rib cage. And maybe seeing how that leg lift feels on the left side. It'll feel different, probably a lot easier than it did at the start of class. I find that's a really beautiful functional movement. And then changing your side. So we'll interlace the fingers on the left shin. We'll get that nice twist in also. Okay, so how about both knees come up, then we squeeze, and then we drop both knees over to the right. So if you can stack them, great. Arms splayed out, look over left shoulder. What I'd like you to do here, if you can, interlace your fingers together above the head. So I really want to stretch that right side body. The knees are to the right. You're looking to the left. The arms are around your head and fingers are interlaced. Both shoulders on the floor. I really want that right side body to get the stretch here. I was going to take you into banana pose, but I don't want to rush you in and out of postures. And unfortunately, I've run out of time. So I think this is going to do the trick. Do you feel that on the right side? Let's see. Thighs are to the right. You're looking to the left. Yeah, I want you to feel that stretch on the right, guys. The upper body. Carefully coming out of that, let's take the left side. Arms above you if you can. Fingers are interlaced. You're looking over to the right. And the left side body, that's where all the thighs went, to the left. And you're stretching up and over, looking to the right. So the left side body should get that beautiful stretch. Alrighty. So thanks for watching at home. We will see you tomorrow with Dima. My name is Amy. I'm going to close up with these guys here, and I have to turn the lights off, so cameras wouldn't work anyway. So peace on, and thanks for watching. Stay healthy, okay? Let's see. Let's close that up. All right, see you next time.